What's good with it, everybody, man? We back again for another episode of the RiSSky Powerhouse. It's been a minute, haven't it? It's been a good minute. Had a lot of news over the last week or so. My son got here on the 7th. You know, a lot of changes in my life. You know, adding a new schedule. So yeah, man, I'm still trying to figure out how I'm gonna configure my recording and editing time and all of those things. So we're working on that. So y'all bear with me. Y'all stay consistent. You know, keep the activity up on the social media. That's more short time things that I can do to keep you guys involved. So make sure y'all active on the Facebook, the Instagram, the Twitter, and all those things, and we're gonna keep that stuff building. My son, Island, Kalor, Karen, Bishop was born on February 7th, 2022, and that means a lot to me. And that comes first to me. You know what I mean? I got my fiance and all of those things, so y'all should understand that where life is going for me right now and how I'm feeling. I'm trying a lot of new things. I'm not on the green screen today, as y'all can see. I got a nice little setup, so y'all let me know how y'all feel about the aesthetics that I tried to, implement in the show. Change my whole room around, my whole house, really. So there's a lot of things changing. You know, a lot of ways that we can grow in the powerhouse, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to continue to grow. It's crazy how as soon as we went in for my son to come and we checked in and the process started to get going, everything in the NBA started gaining traction. It seemed like I went in on Sunday, had to been February, if he was born on the 7th. Man, we went in on Sunday evening. The trade deadline was Thursday. I was in the hospital Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. James Harden, Ben Simmons, the Portland Trailblazers, CJ McCollum, Norman Powell, all of these things happened while, I was busy. I couldn't get to my cam. I took my cam to the hospital. It just was no time. I had other things to do, and every single second I was on a clock, and that's just what it was. So I'm here right now to just holler at y'all about the Ben Simmons trade. I feel like this was big for Ben's career. Having an opportunity to compete for a championship this season. I'm gonna take you guys back. So Ben Simmons gets drafted. They comparing him to LeBron. They comparing him. They saying he Magic Johnson with athleticism and all of these things. They're trying to hype him up and build him up to where they think he's going to progress to. Right. Ben, he gets to Philly, break his foot. He missed a whole year. He comes in his first season. He wins Rookie of the Year. 16, 8 and 8. I think he was one of only 3 people to average 8 rebounds and 8 assists while averaging double figures as a rookie or something like that. And Ben, he showed where he was unique. He found his niche, finishing at the rim, creating transition threes for role players who can't create for themselves, finishing at the rim, rebounding, defending at a high level, being versatile on defense. He might not be able to guard faster guards for the entirety of a game, but he can impose his will on guards, on most guards, and then small forwards, shooting guards, power forwards. That's right where he's elite, and then he can guard some centers here and there. I'm not saying he's going to stick with Nikola Jokic for the entirety of the game. That's obviously not going to happen. But Ben Simmons have the ability to be versatile. You know what I mean? Yeah, let me fix that right there. Y'all know your boy got to stay fresh, got to stay clean. But yeah, man. Ben, he showed what his niche was. You go into his first year, like I said, you got Embiid, Ben, JJ Redick, Aaron Ilyasova, Bellinelli, Robert Covington, Dario Saric. If you guys remember that roster, they win about 51 games, if I'm not mistaken. They win 50 plus, and they showed that even though it was their first year, that they can be competitive in the latter stages. You get to the second year, Philly fast tracked the process in a way that they trade away Robert Covington, Dario Saric, a couple picks or whatever for Jimmy Butler, who's on an expiring contract in Minnesota. They get Jimmy Butler. They also made a trade for Tobias Harris from the Clippers in that same season. And what that did was that fast tracked the process. Now we need you guys to win now. They played against was it Toronto? Did they lose against Toronto? Yeah, they lost against Toronto that year. Not Milwaukee, it was Toronto. And Kawhi hit the shot that bounced in. We seen all of that. Boom, boom, boom. Fast forward to the bubble. Ben Simmons have a pretty good year. He was still the same exact player that he was his rookie season, though, which is good. But we want to see progression. We want to see you. If you set a floor that's higher than most players' ceiling, we expect you to reach a ceiling that puts you in a rarefied in a rarefied group. You know what I mean? We expect you to do more, grow, build. I'm not just saying shoot jumpers. That's not what I'm saying, because when you look at Ben, he's really just a power forward, but his versatility on defense allows him to play point guard. But when you look at him not improving at the free throw line, not improving, getting a post game, actually having post work where he can get the ball on the block and actually control the game through the post. I'm not just saying turnaround jumpers or whatever. It's a certain way as a facilitator that you have to make yourself a threat from everywhere on the court. If you want to be a facilitator, especially at 6'10", you got to be able to command a double team from the post, command a double team in the pick and roll, be a threat from the wing, the top, you know, short rolls when you set the screen, and all of those things can make you impactful as a player, grow as a player. That's what people wanted to see, not just shoot a three. Ignorant, casual fans will just tell Ben Simmons, man, you got to start shooting threes, and when you first start shooting threes, you might shoot 31%, but if you keep shooting, you might get that 31 or the 35. No, that doesn't make your team better if he just take an open three that teams are giving him. He have to be aggressive in the way that he attacks the rim to a point where he can control the game, take those shots when the game is given to him. Coming off a pick and roll, they sag off, you get to that 12-foot pull-up. You know what I mean? You 6'10", you can get to that. That's an easy shot that can be efficient. It might not be as efficient as a dunk, but you still going to be able to hit that shot at high efficiency to where your overall field goal percentage and true shooting is not going to be low. The main thing I'm disappointed in Ben Simmons is his free throws. Now, Ben Simmons has always been about 15, 16-point average player. 7, 8 assists, 7, 8 rebounds, first team defense, which is a good player. That's a good player right there. That's a good package. But when you look at his free throws, if Ben get that 50% up, that 50 to 60% up to a 75, 80% free throw shooter, then he will be more confident in his drives. He will be more hungry to get to the line because he know he can average 21, 22 points. If he give you 21, 22 points, he being more aggressive getting to the rim. You know, he being more aggressive at the free throw line, late, not even just late in games, throughout the course of games. Then what that does is that allows him to then create more of a facilitating opportunity for himself, because he's truly a facilitator in terms of controlling the pace of the game, pushing the pace when shooters got the advantage so he can get the ball to that deep corner or attack the 4-on-3. Or if a player like Joel Embiid draw the double team, because most people think you could just double off of Ben Simmons and that's going to work. No, because he attacks that double team and he attacked that space, and that's either going to open up a layup for Joel Embiid or that's going to open up a 3 for a role player. So that's Ben's game. Now now that the free throw line haven't been touched up, I hope he's been using this time since he haven't been playing with Philly all season to be in the gym working on that free throw shot. Because if Ben Simmons comes back with a lethal free throw, you see what I'm saying? So with Ben, man, when I look at that free throw, that's the only thing I think he truly have to improve. I mentioned the post game. I mentioned polishing the edges of who he is as a player. I think the base of who he is as a player is a good player. But there's something around the edges, you know, being more aggressive on defense, attacking bigger players, being more aggressive in a way that you can feel comfortable getting to the free throw line, 72, 74% or whatever. But yes, but when we look at Ben Simmons in Brooklyn, now this is an entirely different story. Now, I thought Golden State might have had interest in Ben Simmons because they had Wiseman, they had the 7th overall pick, which is a lottery pick. They had the 11th overall pick, which is a lottery pick. They ended up drafting Kuminga and Moody. But I thought they were going to package those picks, maybe James Wiseman and Andrew Wiggins or something or whatever, and go get Ben Simmons from the Warriors. For the Warriors, I mean, and the Warriors were going to get Ben Simmons from Philly. Because I was thinking in my mind, if you have Clay and Steph, and then you have Ben, you probably will have to move on from Draymond. But that's where it was tough. But I was thinking, if you got Ben Simmons for 4 years, you got Steph Curry, you got Clay coming back, you got Jordan Poole, you got shooters on the bench, you can bring, you brought in Belginka, you still got Kevon Looney who can play some backup big minutes, even or start, depending on how Steve Kerr feels in the matchups and all of those things. You got options, is what I'm saying. You feel me? So I was thinking the Warriors would be a good fit for Ben Simmons because he could be a power forward, center player, power forward slash center, versatile on defense, guard every position on defense. He wouldn't disrupt what Golden State does because he's a ball movement player that finishes highly at the rim. So if he's getting those short rolls, like I said, setting Steph Curry setting those off ball screens for Ben Simmons. Now you got Ben Simmons leaking to the rim and Steph Curry going to the three, so it's spreading the defense out so much. You got Clay running off the weak side, so I thought Ben would have a lot of opportunities to finish. He would have a lot of opportunities to create threes for role players and playing with a dominant perimeter player instead of playing with a dominant big in Joel Embiid. Curry and Embiid are polar opposites in terms of how they dominate the game, so I thought Curry's dominance would inflate the effectiveness of what Ben Simmons does on the floor. And getting traded to Brooklyn was exactly the same explanation with Kyrie Irving, who's able to get his own shot or play off the ball. The three-level score. I'm describing Kyrie and KD. That's what's crazy. It's so crazy. Just think about that. Three-level score, can create their own shot, unique in the way they finish at the rim. KD with his length, Kyrie with his English, his touch, his pizzazz, his style, his flair, his ability. It's not just flair and style, it's ability because he can find angles. It's the angles that he can find. You know, KD just long so he can get to the rim, you know. But when you look at how they are both mid-range killers, effective three-point shooters, no, above average three-point shooters, effective rim finishers. They also can handle the ball. They can play off the ball. When you have a player like Ben Simmons with Patty Mills, Kyrie, Joe Harris, Bruce Brown, KD, Nick Claxton, lob threat, LaMarcus Aldridge, pick and pop threat. It's so many different ways they can play now when you bring in Andre Drummond, Seth Curry, and Ben. It's not just Ben. Because now you can mortgage maybe Nick Claxton and those picks that you got from Philly to go and get more veteran talent in the wing position. Or you can just stay pat and bump the rotation down. Now you got Drummond and Curry in your rotation, more shooting. And then you got a hungry finisher who cleaned up the offensive glass and rebound at the highest level coming off the bench and Andre Drummond. It's so amazing how the Lakers fumbled that bag with Andre Drummond last year because they would have, you know, if they would have catered more to how Drummond could play and how he could help them, I thought they needed the help from Drummond and Montrezl Harrell last year. But now Drummond, his options last year was the Lakers and the Nets. He went to the Lakers. He probably should have went to the Nets, but now he's getting his opportunity at the Nets, and it's amazing to see because now he got a true opportunity to win the championship. I thought Andre Drummond was one of the more underrated players throughout the 2010 era. Just because of his rebounding and his rebounding percentage per minute he plays, like one of the highest. He had the highest rebound percentage since the NBA merger. So since 1977, Andre Drummond have the highest rebound percentage per minute he's on the floor. So he's hungry on offense and on the glass. He's hungry on defense on the glass, and he just chased that. And that's how he get his points. He get his points off the offensive rebounds, off of hustling down the floor, deep seals under the rim, leaning into the defenders and all of that stuff. So Drummond gonna bring some grit, hopefully. Steals and blocks are underrated by how Andre Drummond can affect the Nets as well. He creates turnovers, blocks shots. Then Ben Simmons, he's gonna create those shots for those shooters. Man, it's just crazy to think what Brooklyn have right now. Like when you just look at the totality of the Brooklyn Nets team, you got a star in Kevin, the superstar in Kevin Durant, the co-star in Kyrie. Ben Simmons is the glue guy. Now he's the glue guy. You got to rebound. You have to facilitate, manage the game. Manage the game. Don't turn the ball over 5 times a game. James Harden. You feel me? You got to manage the game. Be efficient in your opportunities. If you pass the ball 50 times a game, we need 10 assists and 2 or 3 turnovers in that. You get what I'm saying? Being efficient is not just hitting your shots. Being efficient is being positive in the way you impact the things you do on the floor. Andre Drummond, I need you rebounding, finishing at the rim at a high clip. Patty Mills, I need you shooting the 3. I need you pulling the defense with your movement. I need you hustling down, getting back on defense because you're one of our quicker players. I need you being gritty, veteran. You know, it's different roles for different players. So you got the glue guy in Ben. You got the superstar in Kevin Durant, the star in Kyrie, the glue guy in Ben, and a plethora of role players to bring versatility in the lineup that you can play in the playoffs. Nick Claxton, Bruce Brown, Blake Griffin, They just waived Bembry. I was disappointed by the Bembry wave, but you got Cam Thomas from the 757. Shout out to him. He averaging 23 points on nearly 50% from the field and 39% from three over the last 4 games. So Brooklyn have lost the last 10 games straight. So that without KD, it's pretty imminent that they're trash. And KD will have to carry them through the playoffs. Now, hopefully when the playoffs get here, the Brooklyn Nets take that fine for Kyrie to play. But if they don't, they can still get through the first round if they can get in the top seed. They need to get back to the top of the East. They're the 8th seed right now because they lost 10 straight. But the East is so close, so competitive, they still have an opportunity to win. So I got faith in what they can bring in terms of the tangible asset on the floor. Now, when you go into the mentality of Ben Simmons, I don't agree 100% with how he reacted to the way they spoke on him after playing bad versus Atlanta. Now, I don't think he was the only reason they lost to the Atlanta Hawks last year in the semifinal, but I do think he was one of the main reasons. I don't think he was the only reason, but he was one of the main reasons for sure. And he wasn't aggressive. He wasn't himself. The first series versus Washington, he averaged like 14, 15 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists. And then he gets to the second round and barely averaged 10. You know what I mean? So like Ben, you gotta bring it now. It's pressure on you when you go into Brooklyn because you didn't get out of Philly the right way. You didn't man up and say, you know what, I'm gonna be better and come back and be better. Even if you wanted to get out, I feel like he had a contractual obligation not only to the city, to the franchise that he signed, but to himself. Like you're a man, you signed that deal, you made a promise, you made a commitment you gave yourself. You know what I mean? So it don't matter how you feel, you gotta show up, you gotta take the L's that come with it, you gotta take the W's that come with it. That's just how it goes. But I'm interested to see how Ben Simmons can operate with the Brooklyn Nets. I'm interested to see if he can now bump down. We don't need him to be a second or first option player now, so we're not expecting 25, 10, and 10 every night. So now he can be himself and still be the highest level of impact on the floor. I'm expecting about 15 points, 8 assists, 8 rebounds, over 2 steals, nearly a block, and I need him to shoot 55% from the field. Is he going to shoot threes? That's to be seen. But anything less than a 68% free throw is unacceptable. And 68% is not a high standard, but for him it is. I need 68% from the free throw, Ben Simmons, because you have had time off to strengthen your body, get stronger so you can get to the line more. So the volume should bring rhythm. And with rhythm comes repetition. So you need to be shooting a bunch of free throws in the gym because you've been having free time, bro. You ain't been with the team. So yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think about the Brooklyn Nets. If they should have traded James Harden and Paul Millsap. They brought in Curry. They brought in Drummond. They brought in Ben Simmons. So, you know, they should be, they deepened their roster for sure. They added a talent for the next 4 years to pair with KD and Kyrie. And just, what do y'all think? Can they make a run this year in the playoffs once Kevin Durant get back after the All-Star break? That's to be seen. But I actually like the deal for Ben Simmons. I'm glad he didn't go to a lottery team where we were still expecting him to be a number 1 option because that's just not what he is. We've seen what he is. It's unique in itself for how he manipulates the game and how he plays defensively and stuff. But he's just not a guy that you can give the ball to and he take you home. So now he can be the third option glue guy, play intangibly and impact winning. It's the Risky Powerhouse. Y'all will see me later. Love y'all.